So yeah, now I want to talk about the Etha1. That's something that an issue that I run in for quite some time, and that's that bumper O-ring is falling off. That's I think also a reason why they changed the design totally for not a blow forward system with the spring there. What happens a lot with me in the past, and I'll also give some advice. I did not really use this marker so much. So when there was time that I needed to maintain it, I just looked a little bit on the internet, and some dude on a video, I should have watched a few more videos to kinda hear some different opinions, but some guy was saying, yeah, you need to grease this thing up and the bolt. You already know this because Etha is old now, but you should not be doing that, because then this bumper O-ring will get soft, and also let's say the bumper ring at the back will get soft. The bumper O-ring at the back will cause let's say bolt stick. It will cause the bolts to stick to the back, causing you firing issues. When this bumper O-ring bolt bumper, let's say, gets soft, it is really easy for it to fly off, to get stuck in between, to lift a little bit up and get stuck in between the spring and the bolt. So okay, I figured that one out later on, and then I wiped it off with just a microfiber, and I was still getting those issues, so I was running out my bumper O-rings really fast. I did kind of modify the bumper ring in the way how the TPX does it. I've placed a little plastic ring around it, so it doesn't really have that much rubber to stick against anymore. But the real solution to fix that, in case you have that issue, is to really use some type of disc brake degrease or something like that on a microfiber, and really remove that grease, because just wiping with a microfiber on that, it's not good enough. Trust me, I've done it a few times thinking it's removed, and it still will kind of damage that rubber and make it sticky and all nasty things. But what I wanted to mention right now is, like, I was really running out of those bumper O-rings, so I picked a different one from Plant Eclipse. It will have that shape on the front. Is that a bad thing or not? I'm not sure. I would guess it kind of gives a little bit of spring effect to the paint, so it will be softer. But is this also a little bit longer? Maybe. But I don't really think that's affecting it that badly. But what I still was having, and that is something that plagued me really for the times that I used it a lot of times, was that the spring would kind of pick up the edge of the bumper and kind of, yeah, let's say, block the bolt from moving, and then giving you some light that's blinking, and yeah, then you're kind of done in a way. So what I've done, and I've done it in the past as well, I use this glue. So how that glue works is you will put some on both things you are going to glue, and you need to wait a few minutes before you really apply it on there. Then you get really a strong bond on there. What I did not do in the past was kind of making this a little bit more flat. In this case I used just a sharp hobby knife and kind of flatten it out a little bit. Otherwise it will stick out a little bit, and that will give you a little bit of a resistance when it starts to move over the spring at some stages. When it is in the middle part doesn't matter, but this one will go past that part, and it will compress the spring all the way and go past that part, and then it will start to drag a little bit. So now was okay, I compromised the rubber a little bit by making it a little bit smaller, but I've glued it on. So my hope is, so long as it's not really something to snag on and it's kind of moves smoothly and I don't have that stupid grease there that it starts to melt it basically, then I should be fine. That's at least the idea right now. But we will see how it all goes. But that was something that I want to share because it keeps kind of being an issue with this marker on my part. So I'm glad that I have this marker. That way I could kind of go with the P90 project and also kind of test it. But it was kind of still plaguing me that I still was using the Etha1. It was kind of always, to me at least, a kind of problem child. That like, okay, it shoots fine, but then one day that bolt was kind of not working or something else. There was always something going on, and I never really took, because it was more like a backup marker to me, so it was never really something I really dived deep into and kind of wanted to make sure it works. And it was just okay, put it to the side, a few hours later you pick it up again, try to fix it. It works for a few things and then again kind of issues. But now, because it was getting to the P90 thing, it kind of was more important to get this thing really running. So I was kind of more, let's say, putting a little bit more time and effort into it to make it work. So yeah, we will see how this one goes, but I think with the things that I've done in the past, it does seems that this is kind of the way to go, because that was kind of the thing, because it was getting too thick and it just was snagging a little bit. And I don't know, it's because this is not the original bolt tip, let's say, that is the case. Well, that was also the case with the original one, and that was also maybe something that it was a little bit too tight for that. A suggestion that I was getting at the Pent Eclipse stand wasn't fixed, because I did not really have a bolt left anymore there that would work, was to just put an O-ring there, and then it looks a lot like an TPX bolt. So you can imagine it's harder on paint, because now you got a little bit of rubber on the front, so it will dampen the impact a little bit. Also, then you may, or you need to use a different O-ring. But that O-ring that I kind of got, I probably shot out in a few rounds. It was a little bit too loose. But maybe if you indeed you use a different size O-ring, maybe cut, if it is really too thick and sticks out too much, maybe cut it down a little bit, so you get a little bit of seal with the barrel. I don't know, you need to kind of look what type of O-ring you need to use, because the one that was suggested to me was a little bit too loose, and I did see that, but I think, yeah, maybe it worked. Maybe if you really want to make it work, you need to glue that one in as well, that you kind of get a nice seal with the barrel. That's maybe something I sacrifice now by making it a little bit smaller, but then again, as long as this kind of stays on, I think I will be happy with it. I cannot really speak now out of experience, but we will see how times go. But I think before I forget that I have done this mod, I think I will record it in case somebody, it is useful to someone, in case somebody is using the Etha1 later for the P90 project. Otherwise, with that said, also I do not really recommend using the Etha1 for the P90 project or things like that. I will go for the Etha2 or even the 3 that's out now, because it's a more modern design. If you want the fire rate, then those are really nice because of the, let's say, the electronic board inside. It's really a soft trigger, so even on semi-automatic mode it's quite fast to shoot, but if you put it on ramp, it's a few clicks and then it's like a burst mode or something like that. It's really fun to shoot as a P90. It kind of feels like one. It doesn't look like one at the moment, but because it's disassembled. But yeah, but that was something I did kind of want to mention in case it helps somebody out there. Then yeah, you know how I kind of deal with it, because I do have some issues with the marker. Let's be honest, but I think that was already clear. But it's just something I have, and that's why I used it. But if I would really want to buy a new marker, I would definitely go for the newer models. But yeah, I used with what I got, and now the P90 is fun, but at a few moments I make something else and I go with that again. So I'm not that I need to buy the new marker for this P90 project, because I know myself, especially now with the 3D printing thing, I move so fast to a new project, and then it's like that's the new thing, and yeah, then I need to test that one out, you know, and play with that one.